Hey Ecofictologists, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lovis and it is time for another round of TBR MASH. If you missed my video explaining how this game works and you don't have any idea what I'm talking about, TBR MASH is my monthly TBR game that helps me decide which books to read that month. And just a roll of the dice, and I have my genre, my age category, my miscellaneous prompt, and the region that the story is set in or where the author is from. I will link the intro video up here somewhere and down in the description below if you want to check that out first so you know what the heck is going on. But for the rest of you, I think we'll just jump right in. I have added a layer of nerdiness to this TBR game. Mostly because, oh my goodness, it took me a long time to find titles for last month's prompts because my TBR is so freaking long, because how I really use my TBR is to keep track of all the ecofiction titles that I come across, whether or not I particularly am desperate to read them. So it's very, very long. I have like 300 titles on my TBR at the moment. I want to have a well-rounded knowledge of the genre of ecofiction that, you know, I've centered my channel around and that I profess to know a lot about. So I keep track of lots and lots of titles, but that also means that I actually have no idea what's on my TBR list, and so off the top of my head it's really hard to find titles that match the prompts. So what I have done to help me out with this is I have actually compiled a database of all of my TBR titles. I'll show it to you here on the screen. I have about 150 on there right now. I'm still in the process of putting the rest of them in. It took a lot longer than I expected it to, but I have 150, so that's enough to be getting on with. And the database, of course, includes the title, the author, what genre it's in, what age category it's in, a little bit of a description, whether it's indie published or not, whether it's in a series, and where it is set. So it basically has all the information I need to match the prompts on my TBR MASH board. So that was one layer, and I thought that'll help. But also, I'm a coder. I like to parse data. I know how to do data management through code. So what I then do is I go over here to my R script. I let it pick my titles for me. So this is my R script. For most of you who will probably not know, R is a coding language. It's used for lots of stats and things. So I wrote this script. It's for filtering through my TBR database with a set of requirements. And so I give it my genre, my age category, whether it's indie or not, whether it has to be in a series or not, and where in the world it has to take place or where the author should be from. I read in the database that I have downloaded from where I created it. And here, I won't take you through what this does because I think most of you don't care, even though I find it great. But this is a function that basically filters the TBR list and the database through all of these requirements. And then it spits out the selection of titles that satisfy those requirements, and that is saved here. And then it'll tell me which titles I can choose from for those set of requirements. How on brand is this? I mean, I can't even describe how much fun this was to me. It took me like 20 minutes to code, and it's gonna make my life so much easier. So this is my script for parsing my my TBR. Anyway, oh, and down here, I've written some code that I can do some stats on my TBR where, you know, figure out where I'm lacking titles, in what genre, in what age category, and from what region in the world. And I might do a separate video about my TBR stats because they you know, showed up some holes, let's say, which I am unhappy about and I am working to fix. But for now, we're gonna focus on this top part here. So, just to be able to use this for the first time, let's do roll number 1. Okay, roll number 1, let's go. 4. So we have here a young adult fantasy inspired by something on YouTube or social media in general, and it'll be set in Asia or be written by an Asian author. Okay, so we have our roll and now we jump over to R. So what we want is, we want fantasy and we want YA. It doesn't have to be indie and it doesn't have to be a series because I didn't pick those miscellaneous prompts, and we want it to be based in Asia. So then we just run that bit. I've already read in my TBR database. Here it is. And oh, this is so exciting. Right, so we run this function and then we find our selection. So over here, oh, it says I have five titles to choose from. We do have a hit. We've got The Man with the Compound Eyes by Wu Ming-Yi, and it is a fantasy primarily. It is YA, it is set in Asia, and the author is from Asia. The notes I have is that it's a second son sacrificed to the sea god, Great Pacific, trash vortex, wave of rubbish crashes into an island and saves main character. That sounds intriguing. The author is from Taiwan, and it is set in an uncharted Pacific island of Waio and Taiwan. There we have it. I think that sounds really great, and actually this is perfect because I know that on YouTube in April they are running the Linguathon Readathon, and they are focusing on translated works, and I know that this was originally written in Chinese and translated into English, so this is absolutely perfect. I will be reading The Man with the Compound Eyes by Wu Ming-Yi and participating in the Linguathon. Brilliant! Okay, roll number 2. 5. So we've got a sci-fi that's middle grade, inspired by something on YouTube or social media, and set in North America or written by a North American author. Okay, so we have our second roll and we have to change a few things. We have to change this to sci-fi, and we have to change this to middle grade. And we have to change this to North America. Okay, so then we run that. And we go down here and we see what it spits out for us. So now it says I have 8 options. Okay, so it's picking up a lot of solar punk anthologies that I have in my TBR, mostly because I haven't assigned them an age category, because often they do overlap age categories and often they don't have a setting because the stories could be from anywhere and the authors could be from anywhere. So this is kind of a wide open field. It can apply to a lot of different things. What I do know is happening on Twitter mainly, but I think on Instagram as well, is the Disability Readathon. I will put all the links to that in the description below. And for that, I actually am really drawn to Rebuilding Tomorrow, which is edited by Tsana Dolichva, but contributed to by lots of different authors. It's an anthology. It is solar punk. And I know that some of the stories are middle grade and some of the stories are set in North America. But mostly what I know about it is that it's an anthology of solar punk, and some kind of crisis or catastrophe has happened, whether environmental or alien invasion or zombie apocalypse, and the description on Goodreads is, "What if the apocalypse isn't the end of the world? An anthology of apocalypse fiction featuring disabled and chronically ill protagonists, proving it's not always the fittest who survive, it's the most tenacious, stubborn, enduring, and innovative characters who have the best chance of adapting when everything is lost." And I just love how that sounds. So you know what? Whether or not you think this is playing fast and loose with the rules, I don't really care, it's my game. So I will be reading Rebuilding Tomorrow, edited by Tsana, Dolichva, and I'll be reading some solar punk. Excellent! I am very much intrigued, and it counts for the Disability Readathon, so I will be posting about this on my Twitter and my Instagram, and hopefully we can raise some awareness. Okay, roll number 3. 2. Oh, we've got an adult, contemporary, inspired by something on the calendar, set in North America. Okay, so our third roll, we have a contemporary. I love that we're so spread over all the, contemporary. Is that how you spell it? And adult. And this one is also set in North America. So let's see what we get. I have a feeling we're gonna get a lot of different things. Oh! I have so many options, holy crap! It says I have 33 options. Oh my god. I mean, I did have a look at my TBR stats, and it did say that most of my titles are from North America and most of them are adult, so actually this does make sense. But oh my goodness, how am I gonna choose? There are so many. Oh my goodness. Okay. So it has to be inspired by something on the calendar. So that is what I'm going to look at next. So looking at the calendar that I put together so that I would kind of know what was happening. We have World Autism Awareness Day, we have National Birding Day, that might be good, World Aquatic Animal Day, I'm always up for that, World Beaver Day, Zoo Lovers Day, Easter, hello, Easter, Bat Appreciation Day, Earth Day, World Penguin Day, and World Tapir Day, specific. Surely I can find something here that matches some of my descriptions. I mean, Earth Day would pretty much suit all of them, wouldn't it? So let's just have a look. You know what? I think I'll go for World Aquatic Animal Day because I like those. So looking through this and looking through, I'm so glad I put this column on Notes on Story. Looking through here, Limbo, a novel about Jamaica by Esther Figueroa. There's an NGO going under, there's a scientist trying to keep it afloat, there's resort development, of beaches, there's corruption and murder. That sounds intriguing, and I don't think I've actually read anything by a Jamaican author yet, so I am on board. I'm so intrigued, and the Goodreads description says it's a humorous, sensuous romp detailing one woman's struggle to find ways to effectively achieve change while making peace with herself and her island, which she loves more than she has loved anyone. And that sounds ace to me. So that's what I'm gonna do. So those are my 3 reads this month. The Man with the Compound Eyes by Wu Ming-Yi, Rebuilding Tomorrow, edited by Tsana Dolichva, and Limbo, a novel about Jamaica by Esther Figueroa. And now, just for fun, we will find out what I will be drinking and where I will be reading. 5. Ooh. I'll be drinking red wine at a cafe. That's weird. But we will just, we'll consider a cafe to also be a bar, shall we? So I'll be drinking red wine at a bar and reading. Let me know down in the comments if you've read them or if you now want to read them, and also if you have any other recommendations for social media readathons that you would like to see me take part in, or also recommendations for any of those other awareness days that I talked about, anything about penguins and beavers and whatever else we had. I am here for it. All the information for the readathons, the disability readathon and the Linguathon that I'm taking part in will be down in the description below. Let me know if you're taking part in those. That would be really exciting to swap books. And if you like this kind of content, and the views on the last TBR MASH told me that you did, give the video a like and subscribe to my channel. I post every Wednesday all about reading and writing ecofiction and how it can be used as a science communication tool. And sometimes I post bonus content on Mondays when I manage to create any. And if you like what I do and would like to support me, then head on over to patreon.com/ecofictology and become a patron, where your monthly donation will buy me books, support me making these videos, of course, and will also support Love the Oceans, a marine conservation organization operating out of Mozambique. And if you want some community around your ecofiction reading, then head on over to the Rewilding Our Stories Discord server. We would love to have you. We have about 200 members now, which is super exciting for us, and the link for that is in the description below. And that is all from me. I better go find a bar to read at, because that's what you do in bars, right? I'm gonna be that person. That's fine. I'm okay with being that person. Happy reading, and I'll see you next week, ecofictologists.